After surviving her first go-around with the boogeyman...
What's the boogeyman?
Poor Laurie Strode is left in pretty rough shape, so she's being transported to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital to get treated for her wounds. Unfortunately, her psychotic brother is nowhere to be found, and it's definitely not looking good for her, seeing as how he was shot 6 times and it didn't even faze him.
I shot him 6 times! This guy...
Luckily, Dr. Loomis is still on the case, and he'll stop at nothing until he's able to track down Myers and put an end to him once and for all. Even if that means patrol. Meanwhile, Myers used his cunning navigational skills to track Laurie down at the hospital. Once inside, there's absolutely no stopping him. He's on a seek and destroy mission and won't stop until he's left an only child.
I wish I were an only child.
Laurie's just going to have to suck it up and navigate the hallways of the hospital despite her injuries and hope that she can hold out long enough until Loomis is able to hijack a police escort and get himself over to HMH. Number 1. How Dick Warlock became Michael Myers. Some people believe in the law of attraction, which basically means that with positive thoughts, you can attract the things you want in life.
What's he doing?
Shithead here watched Empire and Jedi last week, and ever since he's been trying to do the Jedi mind trick. Crazy fuck thinks he levitate shit with his thoughts. Knock it off!
The Force is strong with this one.
Others simply believe in fate, and that some things were just meant to be, no matter the circumstances. Whatever you believe in, it certainly seems like Dick Warlock was meant to be the actor to take on the role of Michael Myers. While at the office one day, Warlock strolled by a room and noticed there was a Michael Myers mask sitting on a desk. He picked up the mask, put it on, and then walked straight to Director Rick Rosenthal's office. Rosenthal became anxious, asking who he was. Warlock didn't respond and simply stood there, staring emotionlessly at the director. Eventually, the tension broke when he took off the mask and enthusiastically asked Rosenthal if he could be Michael Myers in the new flick. Pretty slick move, Dick. Number 2. John Carpenter didn't want a sequel. We all know that Hollywood loves pushing out unnecessary sequels, especially if the former film was a box office smash. This is especially true when it comes to independent films, as it makes the margin of profit look that much more impressive. Unfortunately, creators of the original, John Carpenter and Debra Hill, didn't believe a sequel was necessary. But, nevertheless, that wasn't going to stop the studio from an immediate follow-up.
I love Michael Myers. To me, everybody hates him, but I am going to keep him alive as long as I can.
Carpenter, feeling like he didn't get his fair shake of the earnings from the first, decided that since the studio was offering to pay him handsomely, that he would write out a script for a sequel, but he wouldn't return to direct. However, since it was an uninspired sequel and Carpenter felt like the original should be a standalone film, writing a screenplay was a fairly daunting task.
Whenever you come in here and interrupt me, you're breaking my concentration. You're distracting me, and it will then take me time to get back to where I was. Understand?
Carpenter has stated that the script was somewhat grueling, and that the only way he could get through it was with the aid of his good old buddy Weiser. He would chug down a 6-pack every night to obtain the inspiration that he needed. The end result, he feels, was a subpar script that took the movie in a bad direction. Number 3. Carpenter did direct some scenes. The original Halloween is a showcase in suspense horror. While the original has certainly lit a fire under the slasher genre's ass and inspired numerous films, those films decided to trade in suspense for a high body count, which was certainly a successful formula that Hollywood was more than happy to capitalize on. Rick Rosenthal decided he wanted to stay true to the original and avoid those elements, which is something that he and Carpenter had agreed upon at first. However, as time went by, Carpenter noticed this new trend in Hollywood and that fans were coming to expect blood in mass quantities and frivolous nudity.
See anything you like?
He feared that Rosenthal's version of the film might be a bit too tame, with its lack of bloodshed and hot chicks getting disrobed. So, to the annoyance of Rosenthal, Carpenter shot some extra scenes to spice the movie up a little bit and appease those gore-hungry fans. Number 4. The original setting wasn't a hospital. Some may argue that Haddonfield Memorial Hospital is horribly understaffed, and also the loneliest damn hospital in the world. You can't deny, though, that it was an effective setting for the film to take place and offered up a great feeling of claustrophobia. However, having the film take place in a hospital wasn't the first choice. Originally, it was meant to take place in a high-rise apartment building. Number 5. It's the same mask from the original. Halloween 2 employs the same mask that was used in the original movie. Unfortunately, the mask looks somewhat different due to all of the abuse it sustained over time. For instance, while shooting the original film, Nick Castle wasn't exactly gentle with it, as he would often keep the mask in his back pocket. When filming Wrapped on the original movie, Debra Hill took it home with her and stored it under her bed. However, since Hill is a smoker, the mask's paint not only faded, but it began to turn yellow. Number 6. Jamie Lee Curtis wore a wig. In the early 80s, Jamie Lee decided that it was time to shed those luscious locks in favor of something a little more sleek. Therefore, she got her hair cut much shorter, but in the original film, she has long hair. Therefore, she had to wear a wig since Halloween 2 picks up immediately after the first film. Number 7. There was an unused death scene. Originally, there was a scene of the blonde reporter being killed by Michael Myers. Apparently, she'd be traveling down the road when she gets a flat tire. She would get out to check it, confirming that it's a flat, and then go to open the trunk, which is where Michael Myers would spring out and kill her. He would then steal her car and drive off. The scene was cut because, well, it really adds nothing to the plot of the film. Number 8. Skinny Dip. Leo Rossi and Pamela Susan-Shoop weren't exactly fond of the whole hot tub idea. Director Rick Rosenthal pulled Rossi aside and talked with him. He not only tried to talk Rossi into the scene, but asked if he could help comfort his co-star, which he was able to do so. However, it definitely didn't help that the water in the hot tub wasn't hot at all, and was actually freezing cold. Number 9. Crash and Burn. Poor Laurie is just never going to find true love.
Poor Laurie. Scared another one away.
Remember how Laurie had a crush on Ben Tramer in the original movie?
Wait a minute.
If you watch her, I'll consider talking to Ben Tramer in the morning.
Well, if you were paying attention, you'd notice that he's the poor guy who was mistaken for Michael Myers and ended up being ran over by a police car in the sequel.
Mr. Hunt?
Yeah, what is it, Craig?
Yeah, I'm worried about Bennett Tramer. He isn't home yet. Yeah, and he left the party at 10.
Number 10. Annie Returns?
Brains.
Do you remember Laurie's friend Annie from the original? How could you forget?
Hey, jerk! Speed kills!
Well, she returns in this movie. No, we're not talking about her returning from the dead like a zombie or something. The voice you hear coming through the phone in the beginning of the movie is that of Nancy Loomis.
I can't believe it.
I know. You know, we probably knew her.
Where did it happen?
Down on Orange Grove.
That's right down the street.
I know.
The actress who played Annie in the original. And that's it for this Halloween. But don't put those costumes and treat bags away just yet. Next, we're going to take a look at Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. So, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. Until next time, my friends.
Every other word you say is either hell or shit or damn.
Sorry. I guess I just fuck up all the time.